Proverbs 4 verse 7, wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. Hi, I'm Nonny, and welcome to Got You, a space to learn, unlearn, grow in understanding and in love as far as relationships are concerned. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate that you are here with us this afternoon. We really appreciate it. Remember to share, subscribe, and follow, comment. We really appreciate your engagement. Remember, we are releasing episode every Friday 12 noon South African time on various social platforms, on Spotify, on Apple Podcast, on Amazon. Everywhere you think there's a podcast, we are probably there. So you can find us literally anywhere. Thank you so much for tuning in, and welcome to our oldies. Thank you for returning. We really appreciate it. And to the newbies, welcome. You're very much welcome, and we hope that you'll find your home with us. Now let's fetch you in your house. Maybe you are the problem. We are talking about maybe you are the problem. Knowing that you are the problem, though, it does not mean it's enough. That's about it. When there's a leakage in the roof, you don't just know that there's a leakage and do nothing about it and be like, oh yeah, every time you see the leaking, you're like, oh yeah, there's a leaking, and you do nothing about it. The minute you know or you recognize that there's a problem, you try to do anything really to make sure that it is fixed, because you understand and know the damage that it might cause. So the same thing with problems. Maybe you are the problem. Let's say you have a lying problem. Knowing that you are a good liar or you have a lying problem, it's not enough. You need to do something about that. So what are you doing to correct that trait? What are the measures that you are taking on a daily to show or to correct that trait? So maybe, yes, you are the problem. You know, with human beings, it is natural for us to look for, when there's a problem, it is natural for us to look outside rather than inside. And it's an instinct thing. You do it without thinking, right? However, when you grow and mature, you understand that most of the time, you may not really be the victim. Sometimes you're the culprit. Or sometimes you're not even the problem. You just don't know how to receive people or people's opinion or anything, correction, or whatever the case might be. People might be really pointing out really important facts about you. You decide with your victim mentality that, oh my goodness, so you are saying this, and all that drama. Oh, may the people of the Lord be delivered. May the people of the Lord really be delivered, because this victim mentality is taking us nowhere. Honestly, it is taking us nowhere. Pity party, it is taking us nowhere. We need to grow up. We need to man up. Okay, even women, you need to woman up. But you know what I mean. You need to take responsibility and be that girl or be that man. So we're going to talk about you are the problem. Maybe not. Maybe the other person is the problem. But in this case, maybe you are the problem. How you speak to people. Maybe you are. Your tone when you're speaking. Maybe you are. How you address issues. Maybe you are the issue. Maybe your relationships are not working because you are the issue. So this takes us back to quality time, right, with yourself. You really, before you put yourself out there, make sure you are there. That makes sense in my head, by the way. make sure you are there. You've arrived. You've arrived very well. No, I'm kidding. Anyways, not acting on problems or not bringing about solution to what looks like a problem causes more damage. When there's a leaking, right? You don't just look at that leakage and be like, oh yeah, it is leaking. I see it is leaking, and do nothing about it. So you realize that there's a problem and it needs attention, agent attention, and you need a solution very, very quick. So that's basically what's happening with relationships. When there's a problem, you need to fix it. You don't shut down, you don't dismiss. Imagine having the whole house is gonna be wet. If you leave that leakage continue to leak, the whole house is gonna be a mess. And not only the roof is gonna be destroyed, when the very same roof finally drops down, everything in the house, your beds, your furniture, right, will be watered. Now you have to start from the beginning. There's too much damage, and it's gonna cost you a lot. It's gonna cost you a lot. So rather, when there's a problem, you acknowledge there's a problem and have a sense of emergency. Just have a sense of emergency that, okay, man, I see that I don't speak well with whoever. I didn't speak well with them, or their attitude towards me has changed, or my thoughts about them has changed. Let me just try and see what is the matter. Am I the problem? Or what is the problem? Is there a problem even? Sometimes there's no problem. It's just we need space. Sometimes people need space. People need to breathe. We can't be on each other's faces all the time. I know that people who appreciate that, and you know what, holla to you. There are some of us who need space. I really need to think. I really need to be with myself. I really need to be one with my environment, with myself. So I'm able to pour, right, to the people in my circle, in my world. So the first step you take to solving problems, to, I don't know, becoming better in relationships. Yeah, we can say that. Becoming better in relationships. And the first step is acknowledging, right? Number 2, what measures are you putting in place? What measures are you putting in place? You can, for instance, take, if the roof continues to leak, right? You can decide and take like a bucket and just put it there, right? So that the water is just going through one place, right? Into one place. Or you can take, I don't know, a plastic and try to paste it there with the solar tape or anything really, right? And fix the problem temporarily. You can do that. Or you can just try to find people who do the plumbing people, right, to fix it. Or you can fix it if you are that good. If you are that person, then you can fix it yourself. But you need to implement. There's something that you need to do that shows that you are aware of the problem. There's something that you need to do to show that you are aware of the problem. You have a lying problem. What are you doing? What is it that you're implying every day in your life to correct that trait? Do you continue lying and just say, I have a lying problem and everybody should accept you for your mediocre behavior? Or what are you doing, right? Or are you saying, I have a lying problem, therefore I will try to speak truth as hard as it is for me to speak the truth, because I don't want to hurt anybody, because I'm a people's pleaser, and because I don't like to disappoint people. But today if anybody asks me anything that I can't, that is beyond my reach, or that is requiring me to extend myself, I'm not gonna do. Just even if it's just 1% for that day, even if it's just 1% for that. Anyways, I'm sorry for deviating. And you get to work, and then they ask you to do this tedious activity that you're not paid for, that you are not in. Literally, you have no business to do with that activity. And then you've always been doing that, right? You've always been doing that for people. And then you decide on that day, on that morning, you're like, today, if anybody comes and tell me about this, I'll just say no. I know it's hard. It's gonna be hard, but I'm gonna do it. Then you tell the first person, no, thank you, I cannot. I have this and this to do, and I think that's part of your job, not mine. In that way, you've set boundaries as well, right? You've set boundaries as well. And you are one step to not lying. We are not saying you should stop lying instantly because, wow. No, we are not saying that. We are saying we are human beings. We have problems. We have things to work on. We have things to figure out. But what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing that shows that you are aware that you have a problem, or you are the problem? Right? You supplement lying, right? You supplement the problem with an effective and positive action. We are not going to go to the roads of condemnation and be like, oh my goodness. We don't have time to beat ourselves. We don't. The world is continuing. Time is continuing. We don't have that much time to be blurbing about. We don't have time. Just know we don't have time. And the other step that you can do is to be vulnerable with those you are in relationships with, and be like, man, I have a lying problem. So this is not to say that you should, like I said, accept my mediocre behavior, right? But I'm trying. If you hear my voice becoming squeaker when I speak, just know I'm about to lie. So every time you hear that squeaky voice, just stop me. Just stop me and say, tell me your feelings. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't, just allow me to grow in this thing, right? Or to outgrow this lying thing, right? And we are people. You see how you are having an issue with maybe lying? The other person is having an issue with something. There's always something with men. Okay, when I say men, I say people. I'm not saying men, male. I'm saying people. There's always something, right? And if you surround yourself, or if the people around you claim that they love you, they're going to let you go through that process, understanding that we are humans. This is not to say that people should behave like animals, knowing that people will accept us for being animals and hooligans. No, but this is to say, bear with me. This is what I'm going through. Bear with me. Another thing is, you can't say you have a problem and dismiss the problem. Never talk about it. I have a lying issue. Okay? How? Days goes by, weeks goes by, months goes by. You're not even talking, you're not even trying to come close to that topic. Now it becomes, you become defensive about it. Now that I told you that I have a problem, now you want me to, narcissists. Please, if you are that kind, when people around you, your loved ones, are trying to help you go through, right, your problems in life, please don't make them feel like they are creating a problem with your problem. Yes, you have a problem, and having a problem does not mean that it is sensitive. It's not sensitive, especially around your loved ones. Okay, yes, to the world, to the public, obviously, don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear your problems. We want to see the good you, we want to see the motivated you. But the people that you make life or you do life with, you can't be a steering all the time. You cannot be fun dumb to everybody, So there are certain people who I believe God placed them in our lives, right, to really do life with them. Not this thing of social media, right, where everybody is happy all the time, where everybody is succeeding every time, where everybody is, the grill, right? Not that. Real life. We have issues. We really have issues that we are facing as human beings every time. So my spiritual father likes to say, it's either you are out of, right, a problem, or you are entering into a problem, or you are in the problem. Okay, he does not say problem, but because of this analogy, I'm just gonna say problem, right? But that's about it. That's that with life, right? So there's no need to feel ashamed. To feel ashamed of your weaknesses. Vulnerability is strength. Let me tell you, vulnerability is strength. I know this is not taught. We were taught you toughen up, you put yourself together, you put that smile on, your shoulders up, your head up, all that, right? But what that does is you disconnect to yourself. It's like there's a certain way you are. However, because of the societal pressures, right, you now begin to succumb to them. Now you lose that sense of you. You lose it because of the environment, or you lose it from succumbing to the pressures of the society, right? Which is insane. I'm sorry to say that, but it is insane. Honestly, if you're thinking about it, if everybody of us is gonna go by the book like that, I'm not saying people should not go by the book. It is really important for people to go by the book. It is actually healthy to go by the book. However, don't just take everything that is out there and implement it in your life and put it in. Please, that is very dangerous for you to do, or for anybody to do. Danger, 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 danger. I see danger. If your heart is not in becoming better, in you fixing yourself, or in bettering yourself for the betterment of your life, your relationship, or anything really, it's not gonna work. Your heart need to be in the right inside, right in the middle. Your heart is the engine, actually, of the whole thing. So if we don't have the engine, which is your heart, you might as well don't do anything. We might as well not do anything. I know there should be a balance, right, between knowing when to just guard your heart and knowing when to pour your heart. If your heart is not in it, forget. What are we doing it? Why are we even here? Let's stop wasting each other's time. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm not kidding. Actually, this is real. Let's get into the notion of respecting people's time. You might not respect other people's time, right? Because you're no respecter of time. But respect people. If you're not respecter of time, respect people. So if your heart is not in it, then don't do it. But why are you doing it? Why are we doing it? Really, why are we doing it? Anywho, that's about that for today. We are trying to strike a balance between when you are the problem, or maybe you are the problem, what you're supposed to do or what is supposed to be done by you when you realize that actually I'm the problem, right? We want to see progress. Imagine taking a child to school, right? And they come back and they still don't know how to write their names. Haibo. They've been to school for like 3 years now. They went to grade R, 1, 2, 3. They still don't know how to write their name. And that time you're paying literally psychologists. You're paying all these people to make sure that this kid is progressing or anything. There's no progress. They can't read. They can't write. Okay, maybe it might be an underlying issue or disease or whatever. But when there's no disease, this is just a normal child, right? They go to school. That probably 90% of their life or 80% of their life they're at school, but when they come back they still don't know how to read, they still don't know how to write. What were they doing at school? You're gonna question that. What were they doing at school? So with having a problem, it's the same thing. You have a problem and you are trying to fix that, or you're in the process of fixing that problem. Let's see the results. We are not saying we want 100%, but let's see 10%. Let's see 2%. Something must give. Progress must be seen. Right? Because we are not about to be parasitic, where the other person is just pouring on us and then we are just living our best life, or we are being egotistic and we are okay if you don't. Oh my goodness. So let me not go in that direction, because wow, may the Lord deliver his people. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. When you have a problem, you need to acknowledge that you have a problem or you are the problem, and do something about it. If you really want to better your life, your anything really, your relationships with anybody, work. Relationships are work. So do the work and you will see the fruits. So thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to share, subscribe, and follow, comment. Literally, I really appreciate all of you. And from myself, Nonny Motaung, and the Got You team, we say bye. Blessed.